Materials needed are your pattern paper, your tape, your ruler, both straight and curved, your pen, marker, scissors, and your measurements. You might also need a calculator. Cut your pattern paper. As a guide, use the widest part of your body, which is your hips, divided by 4 and add 2 inches. And for the length, you use the length of the dress desired and add about 4 inches. Go down 1 inch from the top of your pattern paper and draw a straight line. Measure and mark out the bust level and draw a straight line to indicate this. You can also mark out the waist level. Mark this point and also draw a straight line to indicate this. And do the same with the hip by marking out the hip level and drawing a straight line across. You can choose to label them at this point or wait till the end. Measure and mark out the shoulder measurement on the top line. Also mark out 3 inches for the neckline and go down 3 inches and square this out. From that point on the shoulder line, go down 1.5 inches and draw a diagonal line from this new point to the neck line. From the tip of the shoulder curve, draw a straight line to meet up with the bust line. This line now becomes half your armhole measurement. Mark out the midpoint of this new line and that becomes your front chest level. On the 45-degree angle, go out 1 inch. Also on the bust line, mark out your bust measurement. Add 1 inch for the darts and 1/4 inch for ease. Measure and mark out half of the front chest measurement, after which you use a curve ruler to join all these points to make the armhole curve. Measure and mark out your waist measurement on your waistline and add 1 inch for your dart allowance. Also measure 1/4 of your hip measurement on your hip line and add 1/4 of an inch for ease. Join all these points using a ruler. You can also use a curve ruler to mark the sharp edges, because there's the points of our body and the curves of our body are not sharp, they are a bit rounded. This is why you need a curve ruler, or you can also draw it by hand. On the bust line, mark out the distance between the bust tips. The standard for this is 4 inches. From this point, draw a straight line down to meet the waistline, and from the waistline go a further 4 inches down. That's midway from the hip line. From this point, which is the bust point, go down 1/4 of an inch, and this becomes the tip of your dart line. Measure 1/2 inch each way from this line and join these points, and do the same to join the point before the hip line, and there you have your darts. Use a curve ruler to draw out the neck curve. Go down 2 inches from the tip of the bust, that's the end of the armhole, and this becomes the midpoint of your side darts or French darts, and measure 1/2 inch each way and join 4 inches towards the bust tip. You can fold this over before cutting out your pattern. Use a curve ruler to redraw out the side seam. Since this is the front pattern, for the adjustment of the armhole, I go in 1 inch and redraw the curve. You can see I used a different color marker, and I add ½ inch seam allowance to the pattern before cutting out. And now label all the different parts of the pattern, like the waistline, the center front, the bust. I notch the front side of the armhole to indicate. I open up the sides seam or the French dart. And that's how to draw your basic dress pattern for the front. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.